let us go through wireless LAN, one of the most popular standard, that is 802.11. Actually, here two modules we have. One is Bluetooth, that part we have seen, and this one is 802.11. It is one of the most popular standard defined for wireless technologies for LAN. It is IEEE standard, sometimes called as wireless Ethernet, and it has been defined, which is based on the basic service sets. The standard defines two kinds of services, that is basic service set and the extended service set, that is referred as BSS and ESS. So in coming session, we will discuss about architecture of the standard and then max sublayer. And in the second part of 802.11, we will talk on physical layer. So basically, it is going to deal with the physical layer and data link layer. Now, basic service set as far as considered. So it is a building block of any wireless LAN. So this is made up of stationary or mobile wireless stations and optional central base station, that is known as access point. Here you can see AP stands for access point. There is an infrastructure with and without access point. BSS without access point is called hawk network, and BSS with access point is called infrastructure network. So these are the two categories you can see here. In the first figure, this is ad hoc network, BSS without AP, and in the second figure, that is ad hoc infrastructure, that is BSS with AP. Now the architecture and the stations that can form a network with or without access point, they have to agree upon, and this type of a structure can be preferred as per the requirement. The extended service, whereas it is nothing but ESS. Uh, it is again, as you can see, so there are BSS, so basic service sets and access points. So this is made up of maybe two or more or a number of BSS, and accordingly the access points. BSS are connected through distribution system, so which is usually a wired LAN. So the distribution system which is coming in but between, again which is connected with your server and gateway. So all that is a wired construction. So it can be any IEEE LAN like Ethernet, and the extended service is going to use two types of stations. Again, one is mobile station and another one is stationary station. The mobile stations, normal stations, the way they are in BSS, and the stationary stations are access point stations that are part of your wired LAN. BSS are connected, the stations within reach of one another, and they are going to communicate with each other. The communication between two stations in two different BSS usually occurs via two access points. So this is very similar to your cellular network, and like in the same fashion it works. Now, as far as station types are considered, then in case of 802.1, it defines based on mobility in a wireless LAN. So there is no transition station, then there is a BSS transition station, and there is ESS transition mobility. The station with no transition mobility is either stationary or figure we have mentioned, that is a point coordination function. This particular is not in ad hoc networks, but uh, maybe sometimes it is a contention free polling access can be done, and the polling for stations that are capable of being polled, that is important, one after the other, that is done. Then priority wise, PCF are already DCF. If we go for, then better is to go for a DCF, because you have some shorter time spans, and definitely you will get a better result. No doubt, access point is going to decide this priority whether to go for DCF or PCF. And due to priority of PCF over DCF, stations that only use DCF may not gain access to the medium. So to prevent this repetition, interval has been designed. and both contention free and contention based traffic is allowed. Like here it's a kind of a thing. So beacon frame and contention free, these are the two things. So repetition interval you can see, and in that you are having the polling mechanism, during the repetition interval the point controller can send the poll frame, receive data. Poll frame is sent, you can see in the figure, then receive data, send acknowledgement, receive acknowledgement, and go on doing this. So there may be no doubt piggybacking it uses. So frame is saved, and at the end of contention free period the PC, that is point controller, sends a CF. So this is a clear signal, and contention free end, it indicates contention free end and allow contention based stations to use the medium. So one slot is for contention free and then there is for contention. So like that it will be easy, and it will continue with this. Here we said about subtype. So I mentioned there. So in the table we have here subtype. So request to send, clear to send, and acknowledgement. So RTS, CTS, and ACK. 2DS and from DS. So we are doing 4 cases here. We are considering. So third case is there 2DS is 1, from DS is 0. So frame is going to distribution system, and via access point acknowledgement is sent to original station, and the configuration is as shown in figure 3. And in case of case 4, 1 1, DS is 2 1 from 1. So it is coming from destination station distribution say system and going to distribution system. So the frame is going from one AP to another AP. It is access point 1 to access point 2. So wireless distribution system, it do not need to define addresses if the distribution system is wired LAN, because the frame in this case has the format of wired LAN frame. So these are the 4 combinations with which you can have addressing. Then there is a hidden station problem. So you can see here um, simple small example, that is in one sphere you have every station in this range can hear any signal transmitted by station B. So in the left side sphere, okay, and station C has a transmission range shown by the right oval portion. So range B is having into that second oval also. Range C is having in the second oval the range. Every station located in this range can hear any signal transmitted by C. Station C is outside the transmission range of B. You can see in the figure. So station B is outside the transmission range of C, and station A is in the area covered by B as well as C. So it can hear any signal transmitted by B and C. Now if B is sending data to station A, in the middle of this transmission if C also sends data to station A, then C is out of B's range and sends data to A. Therefore, what happens that is C links the medium, it thinks that medium is free, and station C sends it data to A. There will be collision because C is thinking free, B is also thinking free. Now, station B and C are hidden from each other as if. So, with respect to A is able to get from B as well as C, but B and C, they are hidden stations, and this is the problem, and that is going to reduce the capacity. To CTS frame in CSMA CD, handshake can prevent collision from hidden station. So here we can have solution. So this is the CTS frame is used, that is RTS message from B reaches to A but not to C. So both B and C are within the range of A. The CTS message, that is clear to send, which contains the duration of data transmission from B to A, reaches to C. So the clear to send message is sent from A to C. So station C knows that some hidden station is using the channel, and definitely it will not continue. Now in case of exposed station problem, here you can see the situation is little different. Uh, Station A is transmitting to station B. Station C has some data to send to station D. See here, range A and C are coming in picture and B is one side. Okay, range of A is as if covering B and C. Range of B is only covering B. Range of C is covering A, C and D. You can see. Now, station A is transmitting to station B. Station C has some data to send to D, which can be sent without interfering with transmission A to B. But C is exposed to transmission from A. So it hears what A is sending and thus refrains from sending. Like C is too conservative and wastes the capacity of the channel every time. Now the handshaking messages you can see here. So C is exposed and it is going to wait. So here handshaking messages as RTS and CTS. So B will send request to send to A will send it to C. So B will send clear to send. Then there will be data to A. Meantime and that A to C also data will get transferred. A will send request to send to C and to D, and C is going to send it to D. So when D is going to get clear to send to C, so there may be the probability A is sending to C and D is also going to send to, if station A started sending data, station C cannot hear CTS from station D, and there may be collision in the fourth time slot. So it cannot send its data to D. It remains exposed until A finishes sending its data. So you can see here in the figure it is very clearly just shown.